Hello, my lovely. Welcome back. Today's episode is part 2 of a series. So if you are a second time plus mom expecting again, go back to the previous episode because there we go through a whole postpartum visioning party. You create a vision board and I guide you through really cool meditation that gives you a new vision for what this postpartum is going to look like. So go back and watch that because if you had a difficult postpartum before, it's going to be so beneficial for you to look at this like a new chapter instead of a time you're going back to. And that episode is going to really help you do that. So this episode, we are going to be talking about 3 pieces of proof, undeniable proof that you are going to give yourself today that you're already on track for this postpartum to feel so much better, so much lighter, and different than the first time around, and that you're setting yourself on a new trajectory. So today I'm going to go through those 3 points and what they are, and I'm going to give you self-reflection exercises and prompts that you can either journal out or answer as we're going. Go with the thing that comes to mind first. I really want you to trust your intuition on this, play with it, have fun with it. And by the end, I want your confidence to increase. I want you to feel more crystal clear and just more certain that things are already unfolding differently for you. So, okay, we are just going to go right into the first one. Number 1, proof piece number 1 of why this time gets to just be better for you. And we're going to anchor that in, okay? The first thing is your awareness. Awareness, I feel like, is such a foundational key step for everything that we want to manifest or create in our life. It's so good for us to be aware of what we're walking into, what we want to create, and where we are now, because there might be a little mismatch between you that is like loving postpartum and you now that is doubting if a good postpartum is even possible for you, or maybe kind of towing the line between knowing it's possible but also not wanting to get your hopes up too high in case they come crashing down like the first time. This might also be relevant for you even if you didn't suffer from anxiety or depression the first time, but maybe have since becoming a mum. Some of the women I've worked with, and I even experienced myself. I had a great first postpartum experience, but 18 months into motherhood, I started having a panic attack, didn't feel like myself, and it just was the beginning of a whole new journey and chapter for me. And a lot of the things that helped me get out of that, I'm going to touch on in part 3 of this series, but some of them I'll start to go into today because I think that they're going to really just be excellent options for you to take on board as well to help set you up for a better postpartum experience by starting to just shift things now, specifically like your energy around this whole chapter and the one that's coming next. So what do I mean by awareness specifically when it comes to postpartum, and specifically as a piece of proof that this time gets to be different? First of all, this time you are so aware of what postpartum can actually look like, what the day-to-day routine can be like, what babies do at different stages. You just know what to expect now, right, from the postpartum stage. You're not going to be blindsided like maybe you were the first time, because maybe the first time you were like most mums and there's so much information overload coming at us in pregnancy and so many things to like do and get ready for the baby. It's sometimes hard to look too far ahead. So a lot of us don't really look too much into the postpartum stage before you're in it, and it does make you feel blindsided because of that. So this time you are not going to be blindsided because you are so well aware of the whole spectrum and whole range of exactly what it can be like. And maybe that awareness as well this time is bringing up a bit of fear, because there is some like bliss that comes with like being naive or not knowing about the harder parts to expect. And this time you don't have that. right? So maybe there's some fear that is being brought up with that. So again, awareness, that's going to help you. So, this awareness is kind of like a double-edged sword in a way. It's good because you're not going to be blindsided, but it's bad because you might be bracing yourself. So what I want us to do with the awareness you already have is ask yourself, what am I bracing myself for this time? There's something you can journal or answer as I'm talking to you right now. What is something you are bracing yourself for? If there's more than one thing, just make note of those, okay? That's going to be really helpful for this time, because you can look at bracing yourself and how you're feeling in a couple of different ways. One, you can just be more aware of what your fears are. That just puts you more in a position of power against them. Two, is there anything you can do about those fears? So for example, if you're fearing anxiety or depression this time, what are some things that you can do now to help put yourself in a better position when it comes to your mental health in the newborn stage? So for example, I have a whole section on this that I teach mums on in the My Lighter Motherhood program. And it essentially helps you really support your emotional well-being through the sleepless nights, the hormone dips, through all of it. Maybe it's the sleepless nights. That is probably the most common thing that I hear from second time plus mums going back into the postpartum stage. When I ask, what are you most nervous about this time? The exhaustion is a big one. And specifically with mums going through it again, you might already have a toddler or a child at home, maybe more than one. This might be at top of mind because you might not have the luxury of just like napping whenever you want this time. So your energy becomes a really valuable, precious commodity and resource this time. So if you're nervous about the exhaustion, that's something, again, you can position yourself to handle a little bit better and be strategic with how you're going to get more rest with having two babies. And a fun little thing I'll add here, because I did not know about this the first time around, but in my second pregnancy, where I was where you are, this really helped me, was learning to work with my energy, learning to understand my energy deeper, learning what depletes or raises my vibration, and really just like honing that as a skill. That helped me so much in my second postpartum, because I felt like I had so much more energy than the first time around, and it's because this was a part of my overall holistic well-being that I was taking care of that I hadn't done before. And this is a whole section that I also teach to my clients, because it's so impactful and also so fun to do, to play with your energetic vibration and learn how to raise it. And it's uniquely different, all of us, in how we do that. But that's something else that you can play with when it comes to the exhaustion, as well as like the practical pieces of, arranging for support so that you can get extra naps during the day, and clearing your schedule for definitely at least the first few weeks, longer if you can, so that you're not being depleted by other things. Like you can offload the cooking, you can offload the chores if you have a supportive partner or a parent or a best friend or someone around. This time I think it's so valuable to just call in those supports and take them up on it, and have specific things that you can ask other people to do, such as bring you a meal, or such as like, can you come fold the laundry, mom, because and just put it away for me, because there's a lot of strength in asking for that support and making it easier on yourself and saving your precious energy through especially the thick of the newborn stage. So that's kind of what I wanted to cover for the first one. But I want you to anchor in deeper rather than me just share about what would feel like proof for you, proof that you are on a different trajectory this time around. So I have this question for you to answer, okay? Name a time, this is all about your awareness, okay? Name a time when something in your life didn't go your way. Maybe it's something that you were working towards that you didn't get it the first time around, and you had to really work at it, and you had to persist, and you had to try again. See what comes to mind for you, okay? And then bring attention to how you decided you would want to do things differently, or how you want to shift things to go your way in the future. So it didn't work the first time. What was that thing? And then what process did you take to shift that and to ultimately get what you want? Okay, so I'm looking for a specific scenario here where you tried, you failed, or it didn't work, or it did not go according to plan, and then you made a decision to maybe do something, and then you did get what you wanted in the end. I want you to journal or think about that scenario a little bit, and I want you to pinpoint something that you did that shifted how things ultimately went for you. I think of, just as you're thinking, if you need a little extra time, I think of a few scenarios in my life. One, I think of my driving test. When I was 16 years old, I practiced so much. I went and I failed it. I got one of those things that was like an automatic fail. There was a crossing guard. I kept going. I made the judgment call that the crossing guard wasn't holding up their sign. They were like still waiting for people a few steps back from the curb, but that for me meant automatic fail. And I was like, devastated. But then what the changing, or what the turning point was for me, was I was like, I'm not just gonna not drive, I'm gonna have to try again. And what am I going to do to help guarantee my results this time? I'm going to get extra support. So I got an extra private lesson. I also switched up where I took the driving test, so it just felt like a new environment for me. And then I passed it with like flying colors. They're like, you're the best driver I've seen in years. How did you fail that? And it's because of my, well, probably increased confidence from doing the skills again, but also getting that extra support and knowing what I needed to switch up the energy, which is a new environment. That is just one example. Another example was in my PhD. I was getting close to the end. I was finished up my my whole dissertation. I'd scheduled the defense with my committee members, and I noticed a mistake in one of the calculations that I did for one of my papers. And so what I decided to do, I didn't want to go ahead knowing that that mistake was there, because that felt out of integrity, first of all. And I just needed it. After all of this work, I'm like, I need this correct. And so I did the embarrassing thing, what I felt was embarrassing at the time. I had to email all of those professors and be like, I noticed a mistake, I need to fix it, so sorry, we need to reschedule. And so I just made that decision, stay in integrity, fix the error, do the thing that was uncomfortable, which was having to reschedule it, and I just did not want to after all this time in school. This was my 11th year of university, but I was like, because I was doing part-time, I was working full-time at the same time near the end, so it took me an extra year than it would have otherwise. But yeah, I made that decision, and then I switched it. I fixed the mistake, and then I went for it, and I nailed my defense. So what was it for you? What was the hard time in the past where you're like, I cannot do this anymore, or this is not the outcome I want, this is not going the way I want, and then you made that decision? Maybe for you it was your postpartum. Maybe you're like, this is brutal. I cannot do motherhood like this. This is not how I'm gonna live. And you made a decision to get support, take medication, go to counseling, whatever, like read a book that sparked something in you, whatever this was, talk to a friend. What was it for you? Use this past you as proof that, and use your awareness as an asset that can work for you, just to show your mind that it's possible for you to redirect when things aren't going according to plan. And last postpartum was rough for you, or maybe since then. So now you get to make the decision of like, okay, I'm going to do things a bit differently. And your response, maybe you got support, maybe it's a decision you made, whatever the thing was that helped you shift could be a good clue of what you can welcome into your life moving forward to help this postpartum go differently. And if it was something like getting support, or if it was something like I decided internally, I feel like My Lighter Motherhood, which is my signature program, could be an incredible fit for you, because this is all, well, first of all, it's a support, right? It's something outside of yourself you can plug into to support your emotional well-being, your nervous system, and just like keep your vision alive of like what you want this time to look like. But then second of all, it's really unique because yes, it's support outside of you, but just like the prompt we just did, everything inside redirects you back to yourself, to listen to your own intuition through this, to just bring in a whole new level of joy into this and manifest something that feels better this time around. And all of the practices and all the tools that I share with you inside just help you anchor that in for yourself at every step of the way. So I'll link that below in case you want to check that out. And if that seems like a good fit for you, I'll be so excited to welcome you in and support you on this whole new journey for postpartum this time. All right, so you have proof piece number one based on past you. Thank you, past you. Number two, this is very practical. This proof, you're gonna immediately, there's not gonna be a big explanation needed for this one. It is confidence and your skill set. And specifically your confidence and your skill set as a mom of a new baby. Think of this time going in compared to the last time. Proof that it's going to be easier for you this time is now you have the skills and the experience of being a mom to a new baby. You have the skills and experience of figuring a new baby out, of figuring out their schedule over time, of knowing that they don't have a schedule at the beginning, and you'll have more acceptance in that, and you'll be able to go with the flow more. You won't get stressed or as anxious about things this time than the first time, because you just know what to expect with a new baby. You have the skills to respond to them. You're probably more resourceful in terms of like if something's going wrong, like if breastfeeding isn't going well, or if something wonky is happening with their sleep a few months in, you just know where to go to help yourself like find support. Like you'll be like more quick to be like, okay, I'm just gonna get a lactation consultant for this, or I'm not gonna get hung up over them having to sleep in this exact same way in this exact same position, or like this time, like you're just gonna be more relaxed as a mom, and you're just gonna be more confident. And I think that is incredible news and proof that this postpartum will be lighter in the sense that your mental load is going to be lighter. You're going to be spending less time in those anxious thoughts of, is everything okay? Like, is this normal? Is this not normal? And sure, every baby is different, but you just have that foundation now. Like you're just going to feel so much more confident going in, and this time is going to feel better. So speaking of feel better, you know that things will feel better in terms of handling a baby, right? But the part that you still need some evidence of, you still need more proof of, is how do you want to feel within yourself? Because that's the part that might feel less certain, less guaranteed. And you're right, it's not 100% guaranteed that you're going to feel great this postpartum experience. And in the same breath, there are so many different resources, tools, things that you can do to help increase your chances that you will feel really great. And some of them we're talking about this in this video. A lot of it I teach you inside of My Lighter Motherhood. And really there are just like countless ways to support our mental health, especially through the newborn stage, and support just like how we feel as our normal through this time, because I just want to normalize that every feeling is normal postpartum. There's a whole spectrum of emotions that we experience, especially early on, especially when our hormones first plummet after birth, especially as we're getting used to I was gonna say sleep, but no sleep, and just adjusting to life with two. Like there is a whole range of emotions that you are gonna experience. But what I would love you to be able to get to the point of is in those early days and weeks, in the moments that you do feel all the feels and you are feeling emotional, that it's not going to freak you out, that it's just going to spiral into something more, because you're going to have more control over your emotional state and your response to how you're going to handle things when your emotions are all over the place, or if your thoughts start to spiral. Like, you're going to feel more resourced to be able to handle that. And again, if you're like, Emma, how? These are exactly some of the things that I teach my clients inside of My Light of Motherhood. But yeah, what was I going to say with this? Yeah, how you feel within yourself. That's the part we need more proof of. So I'm going to take you through this prompt, okay? If you could wave a magic wand, and I'm saying that because I want you to just drop all the fears, all the things you're uncertain about, all the things of like, yeah, but Emma, what if this happens, blah, 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 or like, I can't guarantee that, don't want to get my hopes up, whatever you're thinking. I want you to just drop all of those things for a second and just start new. I want you to imagine this gold sparkly light all around you, swirling around you, cleansing all of that away, cleansing all the stories, all the thoughts, all the beliefs, all the narratives, all the fears going on around postpartum and the projections that are happening from last time, they're being projected onto postpartum in general. I want that light to just cleanse all of that just for 10 seconds. Can you do that for me? Just for 10 seconds. No, they're all clear, they're all gone. And I'm going to ask you, if you could wave a magic wand, how do you want to feel this postpartum? What do you want your baseline of emotions to be? First thing that comes to your head. Is it peace, presence, joy, stillness, bliss? What is it? I would love to know if you comment down below, or send me a message on Instagram. How do you want to feel this time? I feel like this is a beautiful compass and a beautiful thing to lock into, and my homework assignment for you is to start to anchor into that feeling today. If it was, say the word was bliss, or say the word was peace, what is one thing that you can do today? An action. I want you to take an action. What is one thing you can do today that brings that feeling to you right now? I want you to do that thing, and I want you to be conscious of that feeling that you intend to have while you're doing that thing. So say it's take a bath, and I just want you in the bath to just take a few moments. Don't watch, read anything, don't listen to anything. Just be quiet for a few moments and just let yourself just have the intention of feeling bliss. And just open up your heart, literally imagine your heart just like opening in that moment, and you just have so much space for that feeling. I want you to do that, and I want that to be your unshakable proof that that feeling is possible for you to tap into with your intention, because your intention is incredibly powerful, and your intention can shift things so that when you're not feeling blissful, when you're not feeling peaceful, when you're feeling maybe out of control, you can go back to your intention, to the awareness that you are powerful. You can shift your state, and you can take a action step to help get yourself back to the state that you want to be. And my whole goal for you, and the goal I would love for you to have for yourself, is that your normal can be a beautiful, peaceful state. And if that feels like a far reach, I want you to show yourself evidence that it is actually possible by those little tiny action steps, and you can start that today. So that's your immediate homework today, to feel into the feelings you want to have. Just be like, yeah, I'm powerful and I can create that state on demand. Okay? So, number one, awareness. Your awareness is vastly different this time. Number two, your skills and confidence are vastly different this time. Number three, the third piece of proof that I want you to bring into this postpartum, knowing it can be different this time, is in the growth and in the lessons you have learned from your past experience. Okay? What I mean by that is you have grown and learned so much from going through the postpartum experience that you went through the first time, right? You've learned and grown so much. Probably where you are right now is so different than where you were at that postpartum. And who got you out of that state? It was you. Sure, maybe you got some extra support that helped you, but who allowed that support? Who was ultimately open to it? Who pursued it? Who made those tiny shifts in even like what you thought about what was possible, right? Into being able to change your state and be able to look for the lessons through it, see how you've grown, and essentially use your past you, your past resilience as proof that the reason you are going to have a different postpartum experience than last time is because you now is so different than you back then. You are essentially like a new person right now, given all of the things you've learned, all of the ways you've grown, and how powerful you are by overcoming all of that. So I need you to sit with that for a second, just acknowledge how far you have come. Acknowledge how much more resilient you are right now compared to back then. And did it have to suck to get through it, to get to this point? Probably did suck a lot of it, but you've grown, right? What is the biggest lesson that you have learned from that time that you can apply going forward? And specifically, where have you grown the most that now gives you the confidence to know that you can handle things now? What comes to mind for you for that? What are you most proud of? Like, what are you most proud of yourself? When you think of how you got through that time, what are you proud of yourself for? I want you to answer that. And I want you to use that as proof that you are new now. You are approaching this postpartum with a whole different mindset, whole different skill set, and a whole different place of internal resilience. You probably have a lot of practical tools now too, just practically speaking, in terms of if you think of how you got yourself out of that, you probably had to learn a lot of new things about yourself, your mental health, how you think, the supports around you, how your body works, what your body needs. You've probably learned so many things on all these different layers that just make you better equipped. Your toolbox got a lot bigger, right? And those tools are going to help you. So, the logical part of you that's like, yeah, the reality part of you, reality check part that's like, what if this time is really difficult? Think of how many tools now you literally have at your fingertips that are going to help you get out of that. Those are like beautiful gifts that are just going to help you, and hopefully you don't even need to use them all. Hopefully you get to use them for fun. And I want that to just show you the proof that you are different. You are just more grown and are going to be able to handle those challenges from a more grounded, settled, real, resourced place. Okay? Okay. So, okay, just going to look at my notes because I had a question for you, but I might have just already asked it. No, I didn't. Okay, so with that being said, how do you want to feel through the tough moments this time? So say postpartum comes around, you're a few days or a few weeks into postpartum, emotions are hitting you, you haven't slept. How do you want to respond in this moment? How do you want to feel through that moment? Do you want to feel powerful? Do you want to feel resourced? Do you want to feel like you can ask for the help that you need easier, faster, with less resistance? What is it? What is it for you? So yeah, I absolutely love my lighter motherhood for how it can support and guide you to truly do motherhood in your way. And like I shared so many times in this epi, there is proof that this time can be better for you. There are ways you can make it easier. All of the most impactful ways that I've discovered on my own journey, and I'm always adding to it as I find even more to support you, are inside of My Lighter Motherhood. There are practices in there to support panic attacks. There is practice in there to shift out of anxiety. There's practices in there to support your energy through little sleep. There's practices in there to strengthen your relationship, so you are model and are truly that rock solid team throughout it. There is everything inside to help you manifest a postpartum and motherhood, like starting now in your pregnancy. Like, make it your baseline now, where you feel healthy, you feel like yourself, you feel like you, your needs, your values, the things that light you up, not only matter but are a responsibility and have a huge sense of purpose. Because think of the energy you get to bring to your babies by you feeling whole, complete, like you within yourself, by you being gentle through with yourself through the challenging moments. Because like we said, there is proof that things can be better, yet not everything is in our control. What our hormones do isn't always in our control. Sure, there are ways that we can help support them, but it's normal for things to drop. It's normal for you to not sleep through the night for months. It's normal for it to require a lot of energy to take care of more than one child. It is normal that it takes conscious effort to be present with both. Like, all of this is normal, and yet there are ways to make it feel like less of a struggle and a slog, and like you're in survival mode, and like it's something you have to get through, and way more like a time you are meant to be in. You are resourced for it, you are made for it, you're meant to thrive in it, you're meant to love it, you're meant to adore it, you're meant to cherish it, you're meant to create so many beautiful memories for yourself, for your family, that you just want to like hold on to and squeeze forever because you love it so much. I want this whole thing to be a time that you love and cherish until you're 90. I don't want you to have to just struggle through it. So yeah, that is it for today. If you already know you want to go deeper, I would love to support you through My Lighter Motherhood. You can get started in your pregnancy now. Lock in that beautiful energetic baseline now. Feel more like you, more connected to your essence than ever now, and feel so much more supported all the way through postpartum. But yeah, otherwise I will see you in the next episode, where I'm going to share my story with you, and I can't wait to share that with you, because I did really go from this place that was really, I was struggling in a lot of ways, and I got to this place where I just had so much hope and so much proof and so much evidence that things just turned out even better than I imagined, and I can't wait to share that with you. All right, see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have the most beautiful rest of your day.